our modus operandi of basically operating in this world, when it starts to change because of the unfamiliarity, we love to hold or find a new framework of understanding. The thing is that the way the information works now in the world is very heavily regulated, agenda driven,
Yeah.
censored, and built to psychotically play with you. Now you want to use a medium such as a subject, a framework, metaphysics, occult, whatever, but then
Yeah.
the way you are grasping that is via another human. Now the way
Yeah.
you are trying to get shit in your life for yourself, you
Mm.
don't know what that other human is trying to get in their life
Yeah.
unless you are having some
Yeah.
psychic ability, etc. Now the
Yeah.
problem is,
More so, I think in the last like 6 to 8 months, like I watched a lot of your videos. I mean, I've been watching almost all of your videos like that you post on YouTube. So that was actually very helpful because I felt that there is someone who sort of connects you on an emotional level.
Mhm.
And he sort of like I mean, you might watch a lot of people, you might listen to a lot of people, but then वो बोलते हैं ना कि वो मतलब दिल को उसे टच करता है मतलब चुभता है. It
Yeah,
was
plus
it was
plus
your
plus
content.
also I've lived it, bro. That's
Yeah.
the one and only difference.
Yeah, yeah. I think last time you had said that कि मतलब like क्या होता है कि like people like you and people like me जब दुनिया जब बोलते हैं ना जब झुकना कैसे वो सिखाती है तो हमें झुकना पड़ता है then it's like
Yeah, yeah.
yeah so and especially वो चीज मैंने experience किया because emotionally I'm a bit too assertive because like emotionally I'm a Leo like by moon so emotionally like if you know a bit of astrology so it's like with Leos it is a thing where you sort of attach if you attach to something you are very aggressively attached to it and then it's very difficult for you to realize that it's not something it's not meant for you and you have to like
Hmm.
detach so wo cheez like detaching something and experiencing your own heart was also something which was I mean this experience that I'm sharing you it was not easy अभी मैं बोल रहा हूँ अच्छे से comfortably हम हंस के बात कर रहे हैं ऐसा नहीं अभी भी difficulties आती है अभी भी it's like I'm still working on those things but then अभी ना उस चीज का
Can
awareness है
you can you
that
can you just because you brought this topic up, can
yeah
you give me an example of when your Leo moon liked something or got attached to something or something, and you had the problem, etc. from it? Can you please just give me an example
uh
to back that statement? Because I don't mean to disrespect whichever source you have learned this from, but most probably is the internet. And
yeah
I would not want you to, since see, okay, let me share something just because it's coming to me, all right, for you. In the sense, since this call has started, I recognize that you're a different person from when we have spoken last. The last time we spoke, you were more uptight and you were trying really hard to hold on to whatever your life was when you
yeah
were already starting to see through the cracks of it.
yeah
Today, when the call has started, I'm finding a very different energy signature overall in you where you are more
yeah
relaxed and more at ease with who the you are,
yeah
but it is still unfamiliar territory because it's just the beginning. But
yeah
the good thing is that you've already taken the first few steps and
yeah
you're in willful exploration. You're in
yeah
exploring mode, but not by pressure, not by circumstances. You're trying by your own conscious choice. And
yeah
why I'm saying the energy signature is different because I think the way you perceive a lot of the world is starting to change. Now,
Mhm.
what I
Mhm.
want to bring in front of you is because I've gone through these, phase changes. Like it's like water, which was
Yeah,
ice, but now is becoming, let's say, liquid, or let's say liquid is turning into steam. So our modus operandi of, basically operating in this world, when it starts to change because of the unfamiliarity, we love to
mm,
hold or find a new framework of understanding. All right. Now, because you are starting to wake up to more subtle and sensitive things, hence, let's say astrology might be coming in front of you,
yeah,
but watch yourself. Don't go from holding on
yeah,
to one world. The previous world was
huh,
self-improvement, this, that, etc., and then now go into this,
yeah,
because
yeah, no, no,
astrology is another spiral, and you have to realize
yeah,
you can actually. I spoke about this in this conversation of mine called Age of Information, where I try to explain that all these things, the way they are coming to us now, all right,
yeah, yeah,
good subjects or
yeah,
proper knowledge, actual knowledge, truth oriented knowledge.
yeah,
The thing is that the way the information works now in the world is very heavily regulated, agenda driven,
yeah,
censored, all
yeah,
right, and built to psychotically play with you.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So
I mean,
astrology is a divine
I mean,
science,
yeah,
but
like,
the platforms you might be studying it on might not be
yeah,
divine. The
yeah,
providers who are talking about it might not be divine. The
yeah,
interpreters of it might not be divine. And when I say
yeah,
divine, obviously I'm not saying that they might not be God, because that none of us are. But
mm,
in a way, we are an expression of all this divinity, even the fraudsters and the scammers. But the problem is that the online world is so illusory that for most of us, we can't figure out what is a centered source versus who is trying to do it to build their YouTube channel, who is trying to
Yes.
do it to, let's say, they're a new astrologer, they're trying to sell themselves. I'm not saying no or bad to any of this. I'm just
Hmm.
saying that you are a human trying to understand yourself.
Hmm.
Now, you want to use a medium such as a subject, a framework, metaphysics,
Hmm.
occult, whatever. But then
Yeah.
the way you are grasping that is via another human. Now, the way
Yeah.
you are trying to get shit in your life for yourself, you
Hmm.
don't know what that other human is trying to get in their life.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Unless you are having some
Yeah.
psychic ability, etc. Now,
Yeah.
the problem is if you want to study a subject, no problem. Go to the source.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then you'll realize how much hard work and actually time is required to understand something.
Yeah, and also like not to like personalize it, because like if you personalize it, you'd start to sort of judge कि क्या है उसमें, मतलब you start to apply that
Yeah,
rule or
like
that principle in your life, and
the
फिर
first
वो
time astrology comes to somebody, right? It's more of a trap, I feel, because a lot of people get locked into fear, superstition, as well as it comes purely from a selfish motive. My life, my
correct,
destiny, my luck. Will I get happy or married
correct,
or sick or
correct,
will I fart
नहीं,
for the rest of my
yeah,
life, whatever it is. But the thing
yeah,
is that if you enter it selflessly, right? Even if you're somebody who, let's say, has never meditated or never done anything God related or whatever, but trust me, you'll get in direct touch with it,
yeah,
through that.
नहीं,
But the thing is, the way you enter it matters, and the whether it's
yeah,
selfish or whether
yeah,
it's to understand. You can
yeah,
read even the same thing. I brought it on my site because on my site for my long term clients, now I needed to bring something where now I don't give a
yeah,
shit about what they want to learn or what their problems are. I want to
yeah,
talk to them about what I feel
yeah,
they need
yeah,
to know. I
yeah,
don't care
हाँ,
whether
yeah,
they
yeah,
know that or
सही
not.
बात है, yeah,
So I
correct,
have changed my coaching systems and procedures, and there is one where I've written a little bit about astrology. It's called Map of Your Soul, from the same place where you would have
हाँ,
booked the call online.
yeah,
But it went online like a few days ago. Read that; it'll help you understand
yeah.
what perspective to use when you start exploring this beautiful subject.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, and also like in my case, I feel that like rather than you simply sort of learning any subject with an ulterior motive, like will I get married, will I get money or not, that is something that is one aspect of it. But I mean, that is always going to be there. But you have to be wary of what content you are taking. Like, let's say you can actually learn a lot of things about your own personality, which would help. Like
Yeah,
it, you can consider it like something like a SWOT analysis
yeah,
of you,
yeah,
like where it describes your strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats.
yeah.
And you need to be very vigilant about how do you use that map to further work, like to understand what you are. So I'm just making myself like I'm making sure that whatever content even I'm consuming, it's not from any material thing. It's just about it helps me understand more about myself and be
Hmm.
very about myself. So I mean,
Hmm.
earlier I was still into astrology, just to believe all those things, but then it was like I said, from any material intent or a motive. But now, like I have sort of when I've realized this thing, become much more easier and much more relieving. कि अच्छा चलो ठीक है. It's not it's like you daily waking up to a newspaper and reading what's going to happen is
Hmm.
actually disrespect of the knowledge itself. So
Yeah.
या तो उसके लिए लाइक आई जस्ट आई मीन जब भी मैं देखता हूँ ना कि लाइक कोई कंटेंट है यूट्यूब पे कि लाइक पैसा लड़की सब मिलेगा जस्ट क्लिक ऑन दिस वीडियो, वो उस वीडियो को मैं पहले क्लिक नहीं करता, उसको रिपोर्ट करता हूँ मैं आजकल कि ये जो है ना ये काटते.
Fantastic.
हाँ वही तो
Fantastic.
सीखना ही
I
नहीं है.
wrote this a few days ago, and I think the team shared it on the TFM wala Instagram that pretty soon the public is going to really take the case of influencers to such an extent that to make a fool of you, they will no longer be able to
हाँ
sell their own soul.
हाँ या नहीं मतलब इट्स नॉट जस्ट एस्ट्रोलॉजी, मतलब आप यूट्यूब पे देखो एवरी कंटेंट क्रिएटर 10-10 साल से सेम कंटेंट बना रहा है, उसको खाली
I know.
पैराफ्रेस करके बेच रहा है,
I
लाइक
know
ही इज द
there are
सेम
people who
ओल्ड
have bought
शिट.
my courses, have some YouTube channel which is small, and they're trying to use my stuff to make their new videos and stuff like that.
मतलब